Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. And as always, we give peace and salutations unto the elect. And I wanted to tap into this article, as we do on these news and prophecies, pretty much take the things that are happening in the news, all right, and linking them to the Bible, all right, so we can show you via prophecy that these things would be, so we can root ourselves in the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai, so when the wind comes, all right, we have root, okay, and stand firm on what we believe, because the current system that's being put in place, okay, will pretty much seek to make you bow, okay, to their image, all right, and you know, they have all types of propaganda in the news, all right, a lot of distractions, all right, but behind closed door we can clearly see that they're moving in on world domination and ultimately the banishment of God-given rights, all right. They're not going to stick to their they're not even sticking to their own constitution. Okay, well, how much more God-given rights? All right, they're getting ready to strip humanity of everything they have and go after their soul. Okay, and if you don't bow to this image, as the scriptures say, you're gonna put yourself in danger of being killed. All right, now before I jump to this, as you can see, this title, are your friends becoming extremists? Facebook asks users, all right, as it tests bizarre new feature to combat harmful content. All right, so as the love of many is getting ready to wax colder and colder, as it's been waxing cold, all right, all sorts of you know, murder every week is just a bunch of you know, shootings, killings. You look on the internet, is nothing but, you know, people going at each other's throats. Okay, and then old Maxine has caused a division. All right, the media, all right, using witchcraft has put a big divide between the you know, the jabbed and the unjabbed. So going down this straight gate, that's going to be one of the narratives that they use. Okay, and you're going to have people reporting friends, you have mothers reporting children, fathers reporting children, children reporting parents. It's getting ready to be a crazy situation. Now, we stand firm on Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Now, our friends and family and the people around us in this world period, they're for a whole nother God. Okay, they are willing and plan on openly bowing to the image of the beast. All right, in particular, the 2/3 of our people. Okay, so as I was looking at particular articles, I'll go right back to that one. But here in Russia, this particular church threw this out there. All right, and when you see these articles get thrown out there, this is just the mindset of Esau Edom overall. Okay, this is going to be pretty much the standard, because what they're implementing is more so a belief, a religion, a way. When they talk about this science and things of that sort, what they're talking about is the new way the earth will be ran. Okay, even Joe Biden, when he took the stand, all right, or whatever the hell you call it, he said, you know, going forward is going to be less politics, all right, and more science. All right, so as you can see, this title, refusing to be jabbed against Crown Royale is a sin. All right, and anti-maxers must spend their life repenting, says Orthodox Russian Church. All right, and it's going to start here. All right, because really that's what you see. You see them implementing their new religion. All right, over the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai, over all beliefs. They're establishing their belief, their way. All right, now we talk about the image of the beast. We talk about the Renaissance period. As I brought out in times past, you know, during that Renaissance period, there was a medical renaissance, because with Esau comes a particular way. All right. Now they may be divided on a lot of things, militarily, politically, economically, but they all have one mind, when it comes to particular things. Now, their medical field, all right, which is a part of their pharmakia, their sorcery, all right, had its resurgence in the Renaissance period as well. All right, as we read Revelation, the 20th chapter, what does it say? All right, and after the 1,000 years, all right, which was the Byzantine Empire, where Esau, Edom was shut up, a seal was put on him, all right, and he wasn't in power. Okay, but after that 1,000-year period, he came out of those caves, and he rebuilt the desolate places. And this is his renaissance. Now, part of that was the medical renaissance. It says from around 1400s, all right, to the 1700s CE was a period of progress in European, all right, Edomite medical knowledge, with renewed interest in the idea of the ancient Greek and Roman civilizations. All right, now we're living in a revival of the Greco-Roman way, in particular the Roman Empire. All right, but the beast system, we can't forget, had its origins in the Greek Empire. All right, starting with Alexander, okay, who had 4 generals, and their wickedness spread under them. All right, and as they went through the world, Hellenizing the known world at that time, there was a particular way you would have to fall under. All right, you would have to, as a matter of fact, we can get it. In the book of Maccabees, give me one second here. In the book of First Maccabees, because this is a Hellenization in a spiritual way that we see happening in the earth. All right, meaning you're gonna have to abide and live by their culture, their ways. Okay, you're gonna look to their gods, all right, for healing. Give me one second. You're gonna ultimately bow to the image of Baal. Okay. And that's where you had the Maccabees come in, Judas, and, starting with his father, Mattathias, I believe, and so forth, who stuck to the ways of righteousness. Okay, but let's get this in First Maccabees real quick. First Maccabees, the first chapter, in the 41st verse. It says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. All right, and that's what you see happening. You're coming into this whole banner of, nationalism. I mean, not nationalism, globalism. This global government. This way that you're gonna, as a human being, that you're gonna have to go through. Okay, as we're setting up the kingdom of heaven through preaching this word. Okay, they're trying to set up their so-called kingdom of heaven. All right, and this is not the first time that this has happened. Nimrod, okay, as we can be reading, the Greeks had that new world order mindset, and you can see it being formulated now. Okay, and it says that all should be one people, and that everyone should leave his laws. So whatever belief system you had, whatever method of healings you had, all right, those are going to be null and void. And if you stand up for those things, you're going to put yourself in harm's way, and be called and be labeled. Okay. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. All right. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion. All right. And sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. And what people don't understand is that everything you see being established and set up is tied to idol worship. All right. And what did John say? Keep thyself from idols. The things that you see being set up are idols. The mark itself, when you get that in Revelation 13, it is an idol. Okay. It is their way of ensuring you health and life, and you have to bow to it. Now, when we get this in Revelation, the 13th chapter, okay, in the 15th verse, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. All right, that the image of the beast should both speak. Now, one of the ways we see the image of the beast living, all right, which ultimately is the ancient Roman Empire. That's all the Renaissance was. It was the resurgence of that ancient Roman way. But it's fulfilled here through Babylon the Great, NATO, and the EU. All right, but we can see the those particular gods, even the medical symbol, all right, which we know is a serpent on a pole, that is being used today. It's the same thing. Okay, so the ancient Greek and Roman civilizations, along with Arabic, Persian medicine, following the translation into Latin of many works from these societies, man. And our people, as these Israelites did at this time, all right, easily they're going to submit, and they're submitting now at this very day. Okay, and when you read Revelation, the 13th chapter, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right, now when you look up this word worship, okay, and this is where Esau's religions and his mindset and come to play, because they say the mark is sin or Christianity, in his religion, in his way. No, that's fulfilled in the image of the beast. All right. Now, let's see here. The word for worship is proskune. All right. Proskune. And it says to kiss the hand towards one in token of reverence. And that's what you're going to have to do. Okay, you're going to pay homage. You're going to fall among the Orientals, especially the Persians, to fall upon the knees, touch the ground with the forehead of an expression of profound reverence. That's what you're going to have to do to these idols, to this way. Now, when Jake gets into these Greek fraternities, all right, one of the things a lot of people don't know is that when you go to like nationals and you go really get, because some Jake, they had a little, secret process called hazing. All right. But then the business side of it, where you technically come an Omega or a Kappa or Alpha, you go and you bow, you put a white robe on. Okay. And you take a eucharist, like the bread offering. Okay. You like you would do in church, the little bread and wine, the blood and the body. Well, you take the and you bow and you make an oath to another god. Well, that's happening here in this world. All right. Now it's more, they're not coming directly and telling you that's what it is, but through hearing things like this, okay, that if you refuse, okay, it's a sin. It's basically the mindset, and it's above Russia. I mean, this is what they're saying, period. Okay. They're wiping out the Messiah and instituting in their form of salvation. Okay. That you're going to have to file. Now, the scriptures say every knee shall bow to the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Okay. Well, they have their own plan. Okay. But clearly, all right, you're going to do homage, okay? Supplication, okay? And the Israelites were always in trouble making supplications to these other gods, okay? Well, a good brother to look up is Antipas, who the church he was in, pretty much around that time, that god Asclepius was big time. And, he didn't bow. And this is according to, secular history. I mean, in the scriptures, it just says that, he was a faithful martyr. All right. But when you go into secular history, it does give you some insight, that, around that time. All right. As a matter of fact, what's his name? Let's see. Yep, Revelation 2 and 13. It's just quick. It says, and I know thy works and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is. All right. And this church, Pergamos, Okay, they were heavy into idol worship and wickedness, man. They had all sorts of temples and medical temples where they, use snakes for the purpose of healing and the divination, all sorts of wickedness, man. All right. So this church that was set up there, okay, did what? And thou holdest fast, all right, my name. They stuck to the doctrine. They didn't bow to the laws that were being implemented at this time in this region. It says, and has not denied my faith, even in those days wherein Antipas was my faithful martyr who was slain among you, all right, where Satan dwelleth. And when you go into it, ultimately he didn't bow the knee, all right, to the image of Baal, because that's what you're getting ready to have to do. And you're going to have a team of minions and monkeys and goblins, some who you thought were even cool with you, that are going to assist in taking you down, man. This is Romans chapter, let's see here, Romans chapter 7, Salakia. Romans chapter 11 and verse 4. But what saith the answer of God unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. All right. And that word bowed, the knee, okay, bowed, okay, kamptu, to bend the knees, all right, in honor of one, in religious veneration, to bow oneself, used of worshipers. So the elect, the elect have a very, very beautiful sacrifice, in that for the story's sake, they're chosen to be the ones that don't bow to the image of Baal, okay, the remnant, all right, and Baal is all around you. It's in the air, it's in the food, okay, the way that this earth is being ran, all right, is ultimately under the spirit of Satan, okay, and if you're against that, okay, this world is getting ready to rebel against you in a major way, okay, because, and what is that going to do? That's going to put the witness, because we are the witnesses, in the threat of death, all right, because the people of this world are dead set on idol worship. See, they're waiting for the next idol they can bow to, or to aid them to, in a quest of immortality and overcoming all of the sicknesses and things that are brought on by this death-filled world. They're looking for the next, microwaved comfort. All right. So let's get 1 Peter chapter 1, chapter 4, verse 3. It says, let's see here. 1 Peter 4 and 3, it says, for the time past of our lives may suffice to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess wines, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries. All right. So when we were in the world, when we didn't have knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, all right, we did things that were contrary to him, man. All right. Our faith was nowhere in a higher power. Our faith was only in earthly things that were provided by men. Now, particular men are set up to create things that can help you and aid you. But the ruler of this world, all right, and the ruler of this empire, where the apostles, and disciples, were teaching, okay, these regions where these Israelites were waking up, they were tied to these very different things. Like we just read about the church of Pergamos, where Satan dwelleth. Okay, high level witchcraft was being done there. So the Israelites that were waking up among these regions, okay, they were catching hell. Okay, they were catching hell not only from the wicked, Jews and scribes and Pharisees, but from their own people who ultimately saw them waking up. So we're going to go through that same thing. They're used to us, getting excess lust, excess revelings, no rules, no morals. All right. And now you can see how even your family members are starting to look at you crazy. All right. First, they looked at you crazy for not crying for Biden. All right. Now they're looking at you crazy because you don't want the Satan to leak one off in you. They're really like, you're crazy. Why wouldn't you because they're following after the beast. They have bowed the knee, all right, fully in reverence to the image of Baal, to where they don't see any faith in a higher power. This is their God. Okay, the God of this world have blinded their minds. Yeah, you know. It says, wherein, so in times past we did the will of the Gentiles, all right, heathenistic acts. Okay, we lived horrible lives, but now that we have the fear of the Lord, there's a way we walk that the world's gonna be like, why not? What are you doing? What do you mean? Wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you, man, looking at you like you crazy. They think it's strange. See, that's why the scriptures say, he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. So they think that it's strange. Okay. The strangers of his salvation, man. The Greek word, Salakia.
Strong's G 3579. Xenidzo.
Okay. It says to surprise or astonish by strangeness and novelty of a thing. So they're gonna be shocked. It's gonna be strange when they see your faith, when they see what you believe in, when they see how you moving. And these social media accounts are gonna be where people get targeted. But pretty much we're out there. YouTube is a form of social media. All right, now let's see here. Let's read it again. Let's read this in the NLT. It says, you have had enough in the past of evil things that godless people enjoy, their immorality and lust, and their feasting and drunkenness and wild parties, and their terrible worship of idols. And our people are bowing to idols like never before in this day and age, because everything is an idol, and you don't even know it. Everything is an idol, man. All right, we even have to fight, okay, because we're in this world, man. But our inward man in the spirit is what keeps us going, man, but to where we're not overcome by it, and we overcome death. That's what we're doing. Okay, it says, wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them, all right, to the same excess of riot. All right, because the mass majority of the people, all right, are wandering after the beast. They wondering after, they're in admiration to this beast. Wow. I mean, they're being taken through the ringer, man. They've been drained emotionally and spiritually. Okay, then they watch all of these the news and all of the crap, and pretty much their souls have been given over to them. They don't even have their souls. They've sold their souls without even going before the devil directly. Your soul. That's why it says in Revelation 18, the souls of men were in Babylon the Great. Okay. Now, this is Revelation 13:3, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death. The Renaissance period, which we showed you what came with that. It was more than the classics. It was more than the paintings where they painted over the dark images, but it was more of a mindset. The music, art, everything was changed. Okay, and they stole everything and just had free reign for a little season, which they're at the end of their little season to go out, okay, into the world and do wickedness. All right. Revelation 13:3, and I saw one of his heads, all right, the Roman Empire, in particular the Western Roman Empire, as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, okay, in the Renaissance period, okay, which led up to this, Babylon the Great, NATO, and the EU, all right, and all the world wondered after the beast. You see, all the world wondered after the beast, man. That word wondered means to be in great admiration, man. Okay, and they worshiped the dragon, which gave power to the beast. So they're worshiping ancient Rome. They're worshiping that ancient way. They're worshiping those ancient gods. Okay, which when you go to Revelation, the 13th chapter, it talks about 666, all right, which is chi-sized stigma. Okay. Now, real briefly. Okay. Okay. Because you have the chi, okay, which that's the X. All right, that's the first letter, those in the name Christ or Anointed One. Okay, they're gonna X out the Messiah. Okay, then you have this coily snake-looking figure, which is the Chi, or the Xi. Okay, which when you go into that is dealing with some very, very deep, dark wisdom on the left-hand side. Okay, which they call today science, and then you have stigma. All right, so John the Revelator, which there's more that goes into this, but John the Revelator pretty much, okay, gave you the blueprint of what he saw them do in these latter days, and you're gonna there's a system you're gonna have to bow. We know stigma deals with something going in you. So John the Revelator saw exactly what we're witnessing, a system being placed that if you don't bow to it, you're gonna be in the threat of imminent death. All right, but the beauty of it is that the elect, Revelation the 15th chapter, the elect, okay, says what? Revelation 15:2, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, all right, stand on the sea of glass, having harps of God. So we have victory over the beast, all right, which is this whole system, man. Esau, Edom, and over his image, the ways of the system, the religion, the idols, the medical, everything that is fulfilled within his image, all right, which is perverseness. Okay, and over his mark, okay, which, hey, that's coming. We're living in those times, man. And over the number of his name, okay, because he's going to try to put his name on us. All right, that's 666. He's going to try to put his vibration on us, all right, by entering into us and defiling the Lord's virgin. Okay, but the virgin, the elect, are written to get victory over that. Over all of these things that he's going to come with. Okay. All right. But before, that victory comes, we're going to be targeted. They're going to use all sorts of, witchcraft to come at us. Okay. And they're already, everybody's mind is controlled by this beast. So they're going to fight for this beast. Knowingly or unknowingly. Are your friends becoming extremists? Facebook asks users as it tests bizarre new feature to combat harmful content. All right. Facebook is testing a new prompt that asks users if they know anyone flirting with a violent ideology, also warning others that they may have been exposed to extremist content. All right, because they don't want you to think for yourself. They don't want you to have an opinion. They want you to see anything outside of what they're promoting or their religion. So that's what it is. As a violation. Also warning others that they may have been exposed to extremist content, meaning if you were thinking this was the right thing, you've been exposed to extremist content. And updated that many have slammed as Orwellian. All right. You're not going to have a voice. Okay. The platform rolled out as a new test feature for certain US based users on Thursday. All right. Part of its broader effort to combat extremism, according to Facebook, because really what's happening is the truth is out there. The chariots are there, and they played around. They're trying to play with the narrative and control it and, implement their pseudo angels and things like that. But guess what? It's not going to work. The truth is out there, man. Okay. We have an ear to hear, at this point, and we're preaching, and the remnant is waking up. No, even if you cut us off, the root has been planted. Okay? So what's right is getting ready to be labeled wrong on a high level. Woe to them who call evil good and good evil. That's where we're at. Good versus evil. All right? And the good are the Israelites, those who have this message and are crying for the throne of David to be set up. Because even if you're against so-called the NWO, if you have a mind that this corrupt, crooked, perverse kingdom doesn't pay and continues and is not destroyed and taken down, and that the people who are ruling still rule, but a few people go to jail and it's restored to how it was in the 20s and all of this crap, then you out of your mind, man. You a clown. Okay, so they'll get as the scriptures say, the love of many is going to wax cold, but they're pitting people against one another. All right, and they've allowed people to post on these social media platforms. Okay, they've allowed particular narratives to be forwarded. Now they're going to pit the people against one another, man, which is going to lead to the lack of trust, which is going to lead to the exactly what I just said. The love of many is going to wax cold, man. Okay. Matthew 24:12, and because iniquity shall abound, okay, and we see iniquity abound, and this place is getting more and more perverse. Iniquity means sin. Now here it is, the Christian church is telling people that they could sin and do whatever they want to do. They don't have to live by any moral code, so they're a part of iniquity continuously abounding. And the love of many shall wax cold, man. So people are going to have a cold heart towards one another, man. Let's look up that word. Cold. Okay, the love of many shall wax cold, meaning their minds are going to be because they no longer have their soul. Okay, so they're not going to use any reason. They're going to think and operate with beast-like impulsive behaviors, man. Suko, to breathe. All right, it says metaphorically, all right, to a waning of love. Now, what does waning mean? Okay. Waning. So people are getting ready to get cold-blooded, childish, petty, scared. Okay, and they're gonna look at you and say you're holding up progress. Your mindset and your belief in what you're doing is holding us up from getting to the paradise on the left-hand side through this salvation they're offering. It says of the moon, because you have the waxing and the waning moon. It says smaller part so that it appears to decrease in size. All right, to decrease, to become weaker. Okay, it decreases in size. So love, which is the keeping of the laws and people having good terms for one another and unity and all of this BS. But really the keeping of the commandments is waxing cold. All right, not that the people keep the commandments anyway, but love is the keeping of the commandment, and people already don't do that. So the little so-called love they had is gonna wax cold, man. Okay, and this is where we are, man. Okay, because let's look up that word love. I think it's all one word. Let me see here. The love of many, agape, that agape love, affection, goodwill, benevolence, brotherly love, all right, which is how societies are forwarded, through people having a mind towards one another. I'm not going to do this, and holding and living by standards. That has been absolutely decimated in Babylon the Great. There are no standards. There are no morals. People will do whatever they can, all right, to get a victory or win for themselves. They don't have no faith. Okay, so they're going to look at you with faith in the Lord, and they're going to be offended that you have a standard, that you stand for something. Okay, and they're going to be reporting you, man. So it's just something to watch out for through the Spirit. But yeah, yeah, man. It's only so much you can say about these things, but You see where it's going. Okay, and as you can see, this new thing. Okay, Delta Sigma Theta, code Delta. All right, this new thing, it's already spreading. It's already, I mean, because ultimately it's this: Esau went too far to look back. He can't look back. He can't turn from that whole Crown Royale narrative. He has to continue going. All right, but through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he's moving so sloppy that eventually he's gonna ensnare himself. All right, and that's what we're waiting on through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So on to the next. Hopefully I'll edify. Shalom. Don't bow to the image of the beast.